Hi dear students, I hope you all are fine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Arfat Lashkari. I am your science teacher. Today I am going to start a new lesson from biology part. Lesson is microorganisms, friend and foe. At the end of the lessons, you all will be able to recall the concepts of microorganism. You will be able to explain the types of microorganism, identify bacteria, fungus, algae, protozoans. Also, you will be able to list out the uses of microorganisms. Dear students, microorganisms, they are present all around us, but they are so tiny that we cannot see through naked eyes. They are present probably everywhere. They are present in the atmosphere. They are present in air. They are present in water. They are present in soil, but we cannot see them through our naked eyes. Then, how can we see them? So microorganisms are so small that we cannot see them through unaided eyes or naked eyes. So they can be seen only through the microscope. So dear students, look at this picture. This is compound microscope, which will be useful to observe microorganisms. So microorganisms, they can be unicellular, also they can be multicellular. Now what is unicellular? Unicellular refers to single cell organism, and multicellular refers to more than one cell organisms, that is multi-cell organisms. And microorganisms, they can exist alone. Also they can live in colonies. They can live alone, also they can live in group, that means colonies. So for example, dear students, during rainy season you might have seen the bread peas. Can you see the picture? The greenish appearance you can see, yeah, greenish white appearance it is. So in the rainy season, moist bread gets spoiled and its surface will be covered with green patches. So these are nothing but fungus. These are once again microorganisms. Now we will learn about types of microorganisms. Dear students, there are four main types of microorganisms. One is bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoans. Bacteria, some of the examples, two examples I have given here, lactobacillus and E. coli bacteria. Algae, chlamydomonas, spirogyra. Fungi, bread mold, penicillium, aspergillus. And in protozoans, amoeba, paramecium. So these are the four main types of organisms. Apart from this, dear students, viruses. Viruses are also considered as microorganisms. Even virus you cannot see. Nowadays, you know, novel coronavirus. This word is very popular. Virus. You are not able to see. Are you able to see novel coronavirus? Have you ever seen coronavirus? No. But those can be observed under microscope. So these are the one viruses. They are also so micro they cannot be seen through naked eyes. But they are quite different from other organisms. What difference they have? The difference is they reproduce only in the host organism. When they are out of the body, when they are out of the body, they will be inactive. They want somebody's body to reproduce. Yes, they want plant body, they want animal body, they want bacteria's body, like they want somebody's body. Like novel coronavirus, they are inactive outside the body. Once they enter living human body, they will become active and they start to multiple, they start to reproduce within the body. And that body in which the virus lives, that body is called as host body or host cell we can call. So there are so many diseases, my dear students, like common cold. It may be, influenza, flu fever, and all these are caused by viruses only. And there are some serious diseases like polio, chickenpox. All these are also caused by viruses. Students, I have given two examples for each. Bacteria, I have given two examples. One is spiral bacteria. So you can see the picture. This is rod shaped bacteria. So it looks like a rod. And this is algae. Example for algae, Chlamydomonas. Algae, a common language, what you see, a greenish appearance during rainy season, a slippery, yes, on the concrete floor. It may be outside concrete floor. So greenish appearance you can see. Those are algae. One example, good example is Chlamydomonas. Apart from this, there are so many algae, red algae, green algae, blue green algae, so and so. And Spirogyra, it is also an algae. So next, protozoans. Among the protozoans, amoeba, it is an example, and paramecium it is also a protozoan. And next, fungi. This is bread mold, and this one is penicillium. So these are some of the examples with picture for the four main types of microorganisms. For virus, a picture for virus I have taken here. This picture you can see that is T4 bacteriophage, and this picture shows HIV virus picture diagram. This diagram shows the HIV virus. So already previous you have seen diagrams of what you call bacteria, fungus. Along with that, virus is also a microorganism. So this diagram shows the virus, that is HIV virus. HIV stands for human immunodeficiency syndrome. So what happens if this enters the body? I told you, outside the body it will be inactive virus. Probably virus I am talking. Outside the body they are inactive, and once they enter into the human body, they will become active. And this particularly HIV virus, they completely start to damage our immune system, and ultimately at the last stage of HIV it is called as AIDS. And that person, one who has got HIV positive, and the last stage is called as AIDS. AIDS stands for AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So dear students, this is the picture of virus. Next, dear students, coming to the topic, that is we told microorganism, friend and foe. So friend means, friend means they are close, they are helpful, and foe, it is, enemy, harmful. This type of words you can say. In the same way, dear students, in this class, let us try to list out some of the uses of microorganisms. Why? Under the heading friends. Microorganisms as friend, how they are friend to us. That means they have some uses. Correct? So how it is? Dear students, you should know that these microorganisms, they play a very important role in our life. So these are used in making, curd from milk. These are used in making cheese, pickles, bread, cakes, pastries, alcohol, wine, vinegar, so and so. So from milk, making curd from milk, which is that bacterium? There is a bacterium called bacterium, that is lactobacillus. Uh, yes, this is bacterium name is lactobacillus. This help in converting curd into milk. And then one more is there for making bread. Yes, uh, flour duff, and in making bread or making duff or making the food soft and fluffy, it may be bread, it may be cakes, okay, it may be biscuits, it may be pastries, or so many. So these all are helpful in making some of the food. That means they are our friend. That was use number one. Now this is number two. Use number two I am talking about. So use number two, we can say that microorganisms are useful in the large production of alcohol, wines, and acetic acid. So alcohol, wines, and acetic acid in large number microorganisms are used. So which particular microorganism is used for making alcohol, production of alcohol? Yeast. It is, remember this, yeast is used for making alcohols. Okay, and the process for converting sugar into alcohol. You know, when the sugar is converted as alcohol, that process is called as fermentation. Please note down this. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation, and this fermentation was discovered by Louis Pasteur. You can see this person in the picture. He is Louis Pasteur, and this picture represents vinegar. And in the year 1857, he discovered, who? Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation. And I think this 1857, one more date I remember. Mm, that is first war of Indian independence, if I'm not wrong. Okay, anyways, so this is the use number 2. 3. Medicinal use. So microorganisms are also used in preparation of medicines. Wow, very good. So tablets, capsules, injections, like penicillin injection. Okay, for this also microorganisms are useful. And apart from all these microorganisms are useful in in preparation of antibiotics. Okay, some of the antibiotics picture I have given here. Antibiotics, I think you know what are antibiotics. So some, if somebody is suffering from fever, if somebody is suffering from uh, cough, cold, anything, sometimes doctors suggest 3 days or 5 days antibiotics tablets he will give. So some of the name I have given here, see, uh, streptomycin. Yes, it is here, streptomycin. This is streptomycin. And tetracycline. Yes, and another one is erythromycin. Here it is, generic erythromycin, here it is. So these are some of the antibiotics, and you should know this. What we should mainly know this here, we should know that microorganisms are used in preparation of medicines also. How it will be helpful? These medicines kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. Okay, dear students, now let us see some of the precautions while administering antibiotics. Okay, in case of antibiotics, we should be very careful. We should take some precautionary measures. What are those? Number one, it should be taken only on the advice of qualified doctor. If any doctor suggests, then only we should take antibiotics. It is not mean like anybody will say and we will take the antibiotics. It should not happen. Any illiterate will say no. Okay, and also this antibiotic course should finish on time. Whenever the doctor says, if doctor said you take it for 3 days, you should take it only for 3 days. If the doctor say you take it for 5 days, you should take for 5 days only. You should not extend the days. Okay, keep it in mind. And also antibiotic should not be taken unnecessarily, should not be taken. Always remember, unnecessarily antibiotics should not be taken. So uh, these 3 points are very important, and you should know this: antibiotics are not effective against cold and flu. they are not so effective against cold and flu as these are caused by virus. So unnecessarily, if you are suffering from cold, if you have flu, then you cannot take any antibiotic, because these flu and cold are, that is flu and cold are caused by virus. So these antibiotics will not affect, that means they are not going to cure this, they will not affect. So unnecessary, don't take it. And if somebody does this, there will be side effect. So dear students, I have already told you about penicillin. It is a injection. Penicillin is a injection and it is a antibiotic. So who found this? Who prepared this penicillin? So in the year 1929, Alexander Fleming. He was working on culture of disease causing bacteria. What is this culture means? It is not Indian culture, Karnataka culture, okay? So this culture refers to growing of microorganism. Yes, growing. So he was growing disease causing bacteria. At that time, on that culture plates, he found the pores of little green mold. What happened? In that culture plate, he found some green molds. Then he observed that presence of mold prevented the growth of bacteria. Very good. Okay, because of that green mold, it prevented the growth of bacteria. In fact, it also killed many bacteria. At that time, he came to know this from this green mold itself, penicillin was prepared. Then this green mold was helpful in preparation of penicillin. That means penicillin is helpful in what you call that is in preventing the growth of bacteria in our body also, and also it will helpful to kill the bacteria. So dear students, now let us try to understand what is vaccine. The word is now very popular. Entire world is in research for novel coronavirus vaccine. Okay, vaccine is something which is given in advance. What does it mean? For example, there is smallpox vaccine, there is tuberculosis vaccine, there is polio vaccine. That means one should not suffer from polio, so in advance polio vaccine is given. A child should not suffer from tuberculosis, so tuberculosis vaccine is given. So how does it work? Let us try to understand it. So dear student, we should know that whenever any foreign body or microbe enter our body, our body will start to produce antibodies. Got the point? Whenever any microbe enters our body automatically start to produce antibodies and start to fight against those microbes. And our body also remembers how to fight the microbes if they enter again. Even in future, if the same microbe enter the body, our body will be ready to fight against them. So keeping this knowledge in mind, vaccines are prepared. Vaccines are also same. So vaccines are nothing but they are dead and weak microbes. Keep it in mind, they are dead and weak microbes which are introduced in healthy body. It may be via injection, it may be like oral vaccination, like polio drops. It may be in the form of injection, or it may be in the form of oral vaccination. So dead and weak microbes are entered in our body, in the healthy body, and the body start to fight, producing suitable antibodies. At that time, these antibodies are produced. Now these antibodies will remain in our body and protect us. They protect, these antibodies produced protect us from causing any no protect us from disease causing microbes. So this is how any vaccine works. And children also are given injection to protect themselves against several diseases. And apart from this, a very famous, that is oral vaccination. We know this. Polio drops are given to the children. That is called as oral vaccination. And these days, vaccines are made on large scale from microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. Look at this statement. That means all these uh, vaccines are prepared by microorganisms only. That means microorganisms are so helpful. Yes, one more use, that is increasing soil fertility. Microorganisms, they increase soil fertility also. Some bacterias and blue green algae, I told you, algae, we have red algae, green algae, blue green algae. So likewise, bacterias and some of the blue green algae able to fix nitrogen in the soil. They are able to fix the nitrogen in the soil. So you know that soil requires nitrogen. So fertility of the soil is very important for the healthy growth of the plant. So whenever this bacteria fix the nitrogen, the soil fertility will increase. So these two microbes are called as biological nitrogen fixers. That means what? In simple word, microorganisms also help in fixing the nitrogen in the soil. Okay? Yes. Dear students, now one more use of microorganism, that is microorganism will help in cleaning the environment. So how it is? For example, you might have seen if some of the animals die, like example, if I say if a dog, if a cat or die, you might have seen it on the roadside. So the day 1, day 2, day 3 passes, you can see slowly they get degraded, and after 5 to 6 days they completely disappear. The dead body will not be there. So what happened? The dead body, who cleaned it? Who cleaned it? So those are nothing but microorganisms cleaned it. They degraded, they decomposed this. What happened? These microorganisms decomposed the organic waste. So organic waste means here not only the animals, even the plants, even the dead plants, dead leaves, you can see these are also decomposed by microorganisms. This is very important, that is they clean our environment. Apart from this, because of the decomposition, that means decompose means to dump into the ground, they go into the soil. These dead bodies mix up with the soil. That means due to this, the nutrition level in the soil also increases. So dear students, these are some of the uses of microorganisms. So dear students, in this class we have already discussed about the types of microorganisms and how microorganisms are useful to us. Now we are moving on to the evaluation part. So dear students, note down this question and write the answer by yourself. So first question, microorganisms can be seen with the help of a dash. Second, alcohol is produced with the help of dash. Cholera is caused by dash. Name the types of microorganisms and identify this microorganism. Here picture is given. This picture you identify this, which microorganism is this, and then write any 4 uses of microorganism. Thank you.